Hey friends, thanks for tuning in. Today is just a short video where I'll be making a simple soup. I just love soups at this time of the year. I thought I would try to make a soup just with the ingredients that I have on hand, and I'm gonna start with some ginger and garlic and make a base like I normally do because I know that that's a flavor combination that I really enjoy, and then I'm just gonna add to it and start layering my soup in a pan. And to start out with, I'll just use 1 clove of garlic. I'm not going to be making a big pot of soup this time. I'm just wanting to make 1 serving. I almost never make only 1 serving, but I thought I would maybe make another soup tomorrow. And then I'm just using a very small amount of the ginger. Obviously, if you don't have fresh garlic or ginger, just go ahead and add in some garlic powder, and then you can always leave out the ginger. I don't always find ginger powder to be an equal swap out for the fresh ginger. I think a lot of my viewers watch my videos for entertainment value, but I think a lot of them watch because they are trying to save money on groceries. And if you're one of those people, I think soups are so important, and they make wintertime so easy to feed your family or to try to stay on a budget, just because everybody loves soups, and you can make something out of nothing with soup. You can literally just add some bits and pieces together and you come up with something that tastes so delicious and is so comforting. Yesterday I was thinking something else about soups is the fact that they're usually pretty good at being nutritionally balanced in terms of protein, carbs, calories, all of that. So I really think that soup is a perfect meal. I'd like to add some tomatoes to this soup, and I found 3 tomatoes on hand. And I also have this leftover zucchini that needs to be used. It's looking a little bit old at this point, but it'll be fine for soup. And I think for this, I'd like to cut it all in uniform pieces, and then I'll add my zucchini in towards the end of cooking because I don't want the zucchini to turn to mush and fall apart, but I also don't want it to be too firm. So I'll just add this in at the end of cooking, but I'm going to cut these into uniform pieces, which are basically just small squares. And I'll do the same with the tomatoes. I really like using fresh tomatoes in my cooking, which you've probably noticed. I use them in everything, whether it be pasta dishes, salads, soups, sandwiches, pretty much everything. And for where I live in Southern California, they're very affordable. When I'm making a new soup for myself, I'm usually thinking of it in terms of a 3-step process. I need my seasoning base, I need my vegetables, and then I need my protein source. So that's what I'm doing here. And for my seasonings, I added in just a dash of Italian seasoning. And then I decided to use some celery salt, and I remembered that I also have a small amount of celery in the fridge that I think I'll add into this soup. And I'm going to add 1 bay leaf. And the reason I went light on the Italian seasoning is because Italian seasoning does have rosemary, which I'm not super fond of. I mean, I like it in small amounts. I find that it can be overbearing. And then I'm adding in a generous amount of basil because I do love the way basil tastes in soups. For my protein source, I thought I would use these cheese tortellinis. Wait, I just realized the package says tortelloni. A quick Google search tells me that tortelloni are larger than tortellini. So if you want a smaller soup pasta, go with tortellini. If you want it larger, go with tortelloni. And I picked this up at Aldi a while ago. I think the in-store price was about $1.75. But you can get that in different varieties. It also comes in a mushroom flavor. And they also had a tricolor version, which I thought was kind of pretty, but they did charge more for that. I decided to add a little more water in order to have enough water to boil my tortellini. And I'm only going to be using a few. They do swell up quite a bit. These are great to have on hand, and I'm sure that you could throw these in the freezer and then just pull a few out at a time, and you could get quite a few servings out of this one container. And it looks like I'm going to need to add just a touch more water. I'm currently going through a garlic bread phase. I think it's just a great accompaniment to a lot of meals. It's something that I don't normally purchase, so it really feels like a treat. And I think garlic bread is especially good to get during these busy holiday months. It just helps to make lunches and dinners a little bit quicker. And I do have to say that I think that this Albertsons brand of garlic bread is not as good as the last one I had, and I was trying to remember where it was purchased at. It was either Ralph's or Vaughn's, but one of my guests brought a bag of this on the trip, and it didn't get eaten, but I took it home with me and ate it later, and it was just so good. But I need to find out because that one was really good. And not only am I going through a garlic bread phase, but I'm also in a soup phase. So if you guys have a favorite soup that you think I should try, let me know in the comments section. There's lots of different ways to dress up a soup, and garlic toast is one of those. But I'm also going to be adding just a touch of shredded Parmesan cheese, which I happen to have in the fridge. And then of course I'm going to finish it off with some black pepper, and I'll also add some dried chopped parsley. Okay, I'm going to try the vegetables first. I'm really excited to try this zucchini. And these are cooked perfectly. This broth is so rich and flavorful. I just love that combination of garlic and ginger. It adds such a great seasoning base that you really don't need much else to make a delicious broth. But all of those other seasonings added in, like that basil, I really love the way that tastes in this soup. And I also am quite surprised at how much I love these Aroma tomatoes in the soup. They just add so much to it without giving an overbearing tomato flavor, if that makes any sense. Sometimes I hesitate to add in canned tomatoes because I don't want it to be too tomatoey in the broth, just because maybe I'm not in the mood for that. And so For that reason, I do like using the Roma tomatoes. I did like these tortellini. I thought they were good. They have a little bit of cheese in the center of each one. I think having a box of tortellini is a good item to have in your pantry. And I even enjoyed the garlic toast with my breakfast. I had it actually a couple different mornings with some eggs and hash browns. And I also wanted to try it with a fried egg sandwich. I thought that would be really good. Unfortunately, I ran out of time before I was able to try it, but I'm definitely going to make that and I'll let you guys know how it turned out. Thanks so much for watching, friends. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you next Sunday.
Morning has broken, my windows are open. Wanna feel the wind blow through my hair. Which way do I follow? What happens tomorrow? I turn to you and hope you can guide the way.